I was thinking recently about how a lot of people have been complaining about My Little Pony's 100th episode and about how it did all of those needless references to Fins in the Brony fandom. Now, my defense of this is that the references were not purely random. These references were meant to acknowledge the fans and thank them for watching the show. That's the point of the episode. It's not random references. But furthermore, people say that an episode can't hold itself up and be any good on references alone. And after watching the My Little Pony episode Party Pooped, I realized that there was another Tara Strong cartoon series that involved references to the Beatles, and that was Powerpuff Girls Meet the Beatles. The entire episode, from a certain point on to the end of the episode, is nothing but continuous Beatles references. Even a lot of the references are lines and scenes that feel forced. A person could call this an annoying amount of references, or an example of bad writing, or tons and tons of forced dialogue, strange characters and situations, and unnatural setups suspiciously designed to force out yet another Beatles reference, just tossing Beatle references at us and pandering to the Beatles fans and all that jazz, you know, man. And yet, Powerpuff Girls Meet the Beatles is often considered one of the best episodes of the entire Powerpuff Girls series. The team-up of all of the villains, the defeat of the Powerpuff Girls, and fans absolutely love the references. Even ones like me who don't know much about the Beatles loved getting all of the references and got what was going on halfway through the episode. Sure, the writing was a bit unusual, but it was still an enjoyable thing. The thing is that the Powerpuff Girls was at an era when anybody who had to judge what was on television had only their close personal friends, schoolmates, family members, and co-workers to discuss the episodes with. We didn't have the entire world opened up. Internet video analysis was not a thing. There were not a whole plethora, an overload, an oversaturation of critics out there analyzing and reviewing and reacting to every episode of everything on TV and every movie. The Powerpuff Girls came out at an era when if a show was good and everyone in the schoolyard liked it, then of course it was gonna be popular. And you went by the majority of your local area, whether you liked a show or not, whether an episode was good or not. Now with the internet and everyone doing reviews and reactions and analyzations of every TV show, every movie, every single little detail is being picked apart and criticized, either because people think that's what critics have to do, or because they honestly have some kind of problem with the episodes to nitpick. So now you have the entire world's opinion going against this one little tiny episode. And maybe that's why episodes of My Little Pony get hated upon so much by so many people, because the entire world is doing it. I wonder if Powerpuff Girls had been around during the time of the internet if Meet the Beatles would have been accused by large numbers of fans of doing things like pandering and tossing around pointless references and containing dialogue that was awkwardly written and was trying too hard to force the Beatles reference into the script. If they would have said, no, we're drawing the line, this is too much, you can't give Beatles fans all this pandering and all these references, it's so random and annoying, or if the episode was still come out as being amazing. All that being said, there are still a large number of fans who loved the 100th episode. Yes, it's the analyst community who has issue with the pacing and the poorly written nature of the episode, and who keep comparing it to The Simpsons. But that was a completely different thing, even though it was highly similar. The Simpsons were written with background characters that had a purpose. My Little Pony was written with no intent of giving the background characters any notoriety, and it was the fans and the fans alone who decided what those background characters would be, and this was canon writing deciding what the background characters would be in an official capacity. And moving forward, we are still seeing those beloved background characters in the backgrounds of our episodes. Just the fans aren't really picking them out like they used to, but they are still indeed there and still doing amazing things, and they will be still doing amazing things in the episodes yet to come. The pony background characters are still just as important now as they were in the past, and the 100th episode didn't do anything to ruin the series. At least nothing more than Powerpuff Girls and Meet the Beatles did. These aren't the only episodes of cartoon shows that have allowed the background characters to take center stage, nor are they the only examples of TV shows throwing in tons and tons and tons of references and pandering to a specific fan base, and even going as far to force the reference when it made the writing awkward. The point is that this kind of stuff happens, and stop complaining about it. What we're getting now is no different than what we got in the past, and is no different than what we'll probably get in the future. Just enjoy the episodes. A lot of you bronies are, in my mind and the mind of other reviewers, a lot like those yaks from Yakistan in the episode Party Pooped. You watch TV, and if your episode or movie or whatever isn't perfect by your definition of perfect, you go on the internet and rage about it. It's time that we learn a lesson in appreciating the hard work and effort of others, even if that hard work and effort doesn't meet your personal standards. And if you're unsatisfied with the episode, then you should make an episode yourself and do the hard work yourself and have it come out your way so it will be perfect to you, so that you can have your hard work and time and effort and your passions crushed by hundreds and thousands and millions of fans who rage at how horrible the animation you made just was. It's not so easy being a television show writer, producer, director, animator, creator, or voice actor. So give the staff a little break when they try to do something nice for us and don't meet all of the expectations that hype generated for you to expect from the end result of the thing that you went to see. Be glad that it existed in the first place and that you got it through decent effort. Be glad that the animators and writers aren't taking the same shortcuts as displayed in travesties like the little panda fighter or a food fight. Have a good show that is enjoyable most of the time, and that you're not stuck watching Birdemic or The Room or any of those other shows that have notoriously not tried. Anyhow, that's all I have to say for now. Thank you for watching, and good night.